So Nintendo right now is in a very interesting position because it seems like they have started what I believe to be a marketing master class. We, of course, were introduced to something that shocked people, stunned people, honestly creeped people out with the Who is Emio trailer a few days ago on the official Nintendo YouTube channel. And this was something, completely out of left field, something that a lot of people weren't expecting, and something that genuinely made people feel uneasy. And that's a good thing. It's good to feel a wide variety of emotions because you're not a robot. You shouldn't always be happy. There should be moments of fear, moments of being scared, moments of self doubt and stuff. It's natural in life. But with this Who is Emio trailer, Nintendo's squeaky clean image that we'll talk about it in a little bit, seems to be ruffled at its feathers, something brand new from Nintendo that appears to be a Japanese style horror game. Now, we'll talk a little bit about what we talked about in my previous video, but there's been lots of updates that have been discovered as well based on a trailer rating that was done in Australia that kind of give us a deeper glimpse into what Emio is going to be about, or maybe who Emio is, that shows that this game, it's way darker than you thought it was going to be. And I'm very excited for that because I love some good old horror stuff. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's briefly go over the Who is Emio trailer. This popped up on Nintendo's YouTube account. It's very unsettling, some weird, creepy, static noise in the background. Kind of sounds like a music box or somebody on a telephone. We have this individual standing here in this trench coat with a mask over his face, a paper bag that's done up with a smile. To me, this kind of screams like a Japanese businessman. If you've ever, played any Japanese horror games, like this seems to be hitting a lot of those tropes, which, kind of makes sense because we're under the impression that this is a first-party Nintendo game. And when you think about darker first-party Nintendo games, there's been some. Eternal Darkness was a second party game. That's why I don't really talk about it. Geist, same sort of thing. Luigi's Mansion. I mean, there's Monster, the ghosts and stuff like that. Spirits. Of course, spirits are of dead people or dead entities within this world. I'm not going to go to Chris Bohr's Ghost Hunter or Ghost Doctor on you, but wow, that's a rabbit hole in and of itself. Make sure you check out Chris Bohr's Ghost Doctor series because that's some wild stuff. But I really liked the whole vibe of this. And when you think about Nintendo and horror games and just games with darker themes in general, we can always go back to Howard Lincoln and blame him for giving Nintendo that kitty image. Howard Lincoln was, of course, president of Nintendo of America during the whole Mortal Kombat Night Trap situation, took to Congress, talked down these games, acted like they were a lesser form of video game entertainment, and honestly pissed a lot of people off. When you look at like Mortal Kombat, the original game on the Super Nintendo, getting rid of the fatalities, or some of them at least, making the blood now sweat, like it ruined that game. And I think Nintendo learned that lesson because, of course, you had Mortal Kombat 2 come out fully uncensored on the Super Nintendo, and it was arguably the better version over the Sega Genesis version. However, the 32X version is supreme. So really, that one little mention in time, that one little incident with Howard Lincoln going in front of Congress and talking down games with violence or games with adult themes, that kind of gave Nintendo a negative stigma of a kiddie company that still holds up to this day. When you look at the N64, there were tons of mature, dark games on that system, even ones that were some of the most popular games on there, yet that stigma is still around. And it's kind of because Nintendo usually, when it comes to first party titles, they do lean into the more positive things. But we have some new information on the Emio trailer that came actually from the Australian ratings board, because it seems like they have to rate things when it's in a trailer and actually break it down. And bro, this ain't this is some dark stuff, bro. So as you can see here at the bottom of the screen, this is the Emio trailer that is on Nintendo of Australia's official YouTube account. And within it, we actually have some of the things, the themes, and things that are going to be in the game that are spilled out here. Because I feel like this game we're calling it a game. I assume it's going to be a game. I think this comes out this year. I think this has a quick turnaround time as far as announcement to release, because it really hasn't officially been announced yet. Like, I'm sure the game isn't going to be called EMEO. It's just what we have to go on right now. But when you look at these ratings, we see that there is strong themes, violence, and self-ending references. Like, YouTube is such a stupid platform. Like, you can't say things like that without it like triggering stuff. And then you notice that it goes into deeper stuff, kind of explaining it more. Violence, cruelty, domestic abuse, and self-ending themes in a Nintendo game. Let's freaking go, dude. Like, obviously, domestic abuse and self-ending and cruelty, those aren't necessarily like good things, but sometimes they are important to tell a story because they are realistic things. They are things that happen within the real world, things that people struggle with, things that people have to, go through life and do things with, whether it's a part of them or a part of someone that they are connected to. So I think going like this darker route is good. Like, I want this game to be messed up. Like, Japanese horror is a very beautiful thing. Obviously, we've gotten some Japanese horror stuff, like I mentioned in my previous video. Games like Siren, that really touch on a lot of dark things. It's a really good franchise. If you've never played Siren, like, check it out. Like, I really like the PS3 one because they kind of, fixed up the graphics a bit, and they made it like episodic. It's a really good playthrough if you're a fan of horror stuff. But like, we got introduced to it with like The Ring. The Ring was very popular during the late 90s, I think it was early 2000s. But like, a Japanese horror is very different than Western horror most of the time because it relies more so on mental things and psychological things instead of just like over the top gore and violence and like your Jason Voorhees or your, Michael Myers, where you have like a central figure, that's just based on violence. Like, this to me just sounds cool. Like, I know that's messed up to say, but this sounds cool as a fan of horror stuff. Like, I just hope Nintendo can keep this going. Keep this momentum going with this. Start dropping little teasers about stuff. Like, I don't want them to wait until September to do something else. Like, you have the internet buzzing right now with this, with such little information that people are trying to dig up any sort of little thing. It's essentially like a free scavenger hunt, but more importantly, it's essentially free marketing for something that we don't know a single thing about. I hope it has a budget. I hope it has a budget. It seems like this is a first-party Nintendo thing. If you watch Kit and Krista's short on it, which has Kit just talking about it, it flashes a Nintendo screen at the end of the trailer, which more than likely signifies that this is being developed by Nintendo themselves, not a third-party thing. That was information given to us from Kit himself. Yes, I watch Kit and Krista. They like me. They think I'm funny. It's a weird world out there. Shout outs to Kit and Krista, good friends of the channel. But I'm excited for this, dog. Like, I am excited. Any sort of little morsel of information, I will be making a video about this. And I just hope and pray that it has like don't be some, no disrespect, don't be some 2D side-scrolling thing. Don't be some visual, point-and-click adventure. Like, those are fine. There's a million of them, though. Give me a little budget. Give me something creepy. Give me a PT style thing. Give me a Siren style thing. Like, let's go. Let's go, Nintendo. You have this creativity in you. Let it out. Let me know what you think about EMEO in the comments section down below. Have you figured out who EMEO is? Because he's not anyone on this channel. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.